I am Eon, and it is Monday, May 26, 2025 as I record this. Happy Memorial Day from here in the United States. Let's look ahead to June 2025, which comes in a little bit less than a week at this point, and see what is releasing in the realm of fantasy for 3D Patreons, tribes, etc. Arbiter Miniatures this month will be doing Wood Elf Blaze Singers. Here's a work in progress. Artisan Guild has given us a little bit of preview of the Lizardmen of Falgor. While not a preview of their release, it is coming in June. Archvillain Games is doing Terranwith, which is a highly detailed tabletop terrain campaign on Kickstarter, launching June 3rd. So if you're interested in any terrain, especially from a well-known creator, be sure to check that out. BattleYak Miniatures has given us a preview of the Rakari Sunpride, apparently a group of lion folk. Kind of interesting that they ride lions, and they are lion people. The Beholder Miniatures has given us a preview of the Dwarven Kingdom's Thunderforge. And Evergreen Elves Death Dancers. Belxasar 3D Print has given us this teaser image of what will be coming. Bestiarum Miniatures has given us some concept art. Graves of the Lost and Soul Vessels. So kind of an undead theme, apparently. Here's the Sepulchrite and Untethered Souls. Grave Hounds and Bellfire Gargoyle. Claudio Casini Art has given several previews. Here's a half-troll archer ranger with bow. Female elf or human or furbolg or half-orc or tiefling paladin. So a female paladin, whichever race you want. A rabbit folk warrior leader. That might be a good miniature for badgers and burrows. And a barbarian turtle. Same thing. Here's a male barbarian half-giant. Claudio Creations has given us a little bit of a preview as well. These are apparently maggot fiends on the left and froggots on the right. Frog got your tongue, maybe? Something does. Reminds me of that parasite you see on a fish's tongue. Crippled God Foundry has given us a preview of June. It'll be Cult of the Dragon. Let's look at some better renders here. Dracolich and a Worm Speaker, Dragonclaw Cultists, Dragonfang Knights, Abashi Ice Drakes, Dragonborn Paladin, as well as some temple terrain in general. Dice Heads has given us a preview of June. This is Boulderhide, the undead crowbear fighter. Wow, that's a lot. And Koro, the hawk fighter. Astralis, the hedgehog ranger. And who I believe is Lilthra, the venomancer mage. It's the only one I couldn't quite place. Here's Ironbark, Instag Ranger, and Spore Whisper, a Dormouse Rogue. Solari, a Koala Mage, and Lyric, a Gecko Rogue. So there's all the miniatures you'll be getting from Dice Heads this month. In June, not this month, but in the month of June. Dragon's Lake is looking at the Empire of Sunstall still. Here we have Flagellants. A lot of detail work on these guys. Steam Tank. Marshal on Pegasus. With a banner or with not. Marshal on Great Griffin. Wizard on Pegasus. Notice these come in about 4 different varieties. Duncan Shadow is celebrating 5-year anniversary this month, so there's several releases and they seem to be continuing to grow. So giant spider and a fungus spider, a squirrel multi-part kit. So again, pretty cool stuff for like burrows and badgers and things like that. There's a giant crab, squirrel folk that have been pre-posed, so you don't have to bother putting them together. Like the fact several of them have their mouths open screaming that squeal that squirrels do. These are apparently warforged. They come both pre-posed and as a kit, as well as some kobolds, and these have multiple weapons as well as various classes of sorts too. So if you want like a shaman or something, is that a pet squirrel or a pet possum or something? Not sure. We get some dogs and some cultists. Some dead cultists, probably the best type of cultist, right? Some rust beasts. Sturges, either as a swarm or as an individual. And some hook horrors. So quite a lot of things. But Duncan Shadow is really celebrating the 5-year anniversary in a lot of different ways. Flesh of Gods Miniatures this month is doing Plague Bringers. The Rot Father. Where's its head? Here's the Brood Mother. Oh man, we can't let these two get together, can we? Visok, the Harbinger of the Plague. Serpent Folk Abominations. The Medusa I thought was actually pretty cool. So I'm used to seeing Medusa kind of like with a snake tail bottom half. And the fact that the mouth just keeps opening in like a Joker variety makes her even more hideous. Of course, you know, not that any of us would ever actually get the chance to look upon her to really tell, and tell the tale. Fungal Tusk, Pure Blood Alchemist, female and male. Pure blood, I don't know what their blood is pure of, but Myconid Shaman and Spore Servants. Spirit Naga and Rothan the Hexed Apothecary. Gotta love that action pose. Fane the Quarantine Warden and Kordek of the Bleeding Bloom. What is he? Dr. Guest, Masked Healer. And there's some others there that we'll look at in the month of June as well. Then a couple of busts, of course. Ghamak has given us a little bit of preview art. Looks like we'll be continuing with the Shogunate. Goonmaster has given us the preview of the Penitent Pugs. I would imagine they're all good boys, so what are they penitent about? Could they have done anything wrong? Hardwich Games has given us a couple of previews. Apparently this was a design that he was sculpting, or they were just sculpting in the Discord. They really liked was given as an idea. So pretty cool concept here. as well as a couple more preview images. We'll come back definitely and look at Hardwitch come the month of June. Highlands Miniatures has given us a roadmap for pretty much the rest of the year. August and September we'll see Feral Elves, October will be the Undead, and November and December are the Sons of Marduk. Is that like Chaos Dwarves, maybe? I'm not sure. In June, we're going to continue with the Sewer Vermin. So here's a few previews of what we'll be getting in June. Labyrinth Models is going kind of with Ice Elves for the month of June. Snow Harpies. And apparently these are Ice Elf archers that they have decided to go back to and remaster. And an Ice Elf mage, she comes in a couple of poses. These kind of remind me of that episode in Solo Leveling, the anime. Last Sword has given us a little bit of previews, and oh my goodness, we have dwarves. Dwarf Miners. A Dwarf Bolt Thrower. And for the Adventurer tier, we have Anglo-Saxons. Loot Studios for the month of June will be doing Tomb of the Serpent God, Mytel, the Herald of the Serpent, Snakefolk Pureblood, not an abomination like the previous one we saw from Flesh of Gods, Heart Piercer Snail. Is it fast or slow? I'm curious. Fernand Longstrider. I like the action pose here. This is a nice miniature. And a Verdant Man-Eater. Mammoth Props has given us some preview images. I'm not exactly sure what to make out of all of these. Looks like a lot of skulls. Yeah, a lot of skulls and bones. On the left, there is a dice tray and, of course, a dice caddy. And I'm assuming this is a dice tower. MOMMiniatures for the month of June is going to be doing some Infernal Dwarves. So here's some Infernal Dwarf Centaurs. Command group for the Infernal Dwarf Centaurs, the Majestic Centaur. Normally they don't release images with the individual names like this, and I thank you for this. I doubt it's because of my videos, but it's very appreciative. There's a Lamassu and a Chaos Dwarf Lord. Much easier to identify what is what when you do that way. One Page Rules has given us some preview image. Do we have dwarves again? We've had dwarves before from OPR, haven't we? Or have we? I feel like we have. Regardless, I'm not going to complain. Love that musician. Maybe we haven't had dwarves. Maybe I'm thinking of the space dwarves. Papal 3D has given us a figure image here of a trebuchet and people doing this. I always probably should put these in the models videos because these are nice dioramas. I really enjoy the diorama pieces. And then this piece here, I did not write down what the name was, but of the forest or something, it feels like. Rescale Miniatures has given us a preview of Ratkin Arsenal. He's got a machine gun. Rats and goblins always seem to be kind of pushing the envelope. Yeah, there's some weird stuff going on here. Signum Games has given us this little bit of preview art. Some type of dwarf, maybe? SolGood Studios has given us this preview. This Eye of Madness. It feels like that was the title they put. I didn't write it down. This is just a preview, so. Threat Factory has given us the full June preview. I think they just did this today, actually. Looks like we're having slods, or slads. Never sure which way to say that. These lizard-type folk. It's a pretty tree, though. I do like the tree and the terrain. 3 medium bases can stand on the tree. So look at that. They've made terrain that's usable. Titan Forge has given us the preview for June. We're continuing with the Undead Dominion and Highborn Elves. For the Highborn Elves, we have the Archmage of the Phoenix Order. She can either be unmounted or mounted. And the Phoenix apparently comes in a couple of varieties. It's a different looking, almost looks more like a vulture to me. As well as we have some lions, because the lions can also be part of the heavy cavalry. We have some light cavalry archers. And there's our command group, bannerman and musician on the right. And I didn't see these actually listed. These seem to be some sort of just regular soldiers. For the Undead Dominion, we have the Spectral Assassin and Ogre Skeletons. We have some Undead Warrior Guards. It's a different style musician with that huge bell. And apparently these are the Tooth Fairies? Oh my goodness, it has pliers. I hope we get a say in that. We have the 3 heroes for the Titans of Adventures, set 61, a Dwarf Fighter, Human Cleric, and Tiefling Artificer. Of course, each of these come in 3 different varieties, depending on what you would like your character to look like. And then they did not list the names of these, but that's a Grell, isn't it? And I guess a couple of miniature boulets. And of course, some tiles. Traders Galaxy Miniaturing Games I almost didn't put in this video, but then I realized they actually have a fantasy range of dark elves that will be coming in June. So over there on the right, I felt that it was appropriate to put in here. So usually they tend more sci-fi from my experience, but what do I know? Twin Goddess Minis has given us some concept art here. This guy reminds me of the movie Onward, but I guess he's supposed to be either a Draenei or a Goliath or something. Ugni Miniatures is going to be continuing the May theme with the Los Luchadores Halfling roster, Part 2 in June. So if you're interested in these, you may want to make sure you've picked up the May bundle as well, while it's a lot cheaper. Vae Victis, or Vae Victis, has given us a little bit of a preview. Looks like we're going with some sort of zombie skeleton theme. Wargames Atlantic has given us some previews here. I think these are Dragon Blood characters. Really like the detail on the armor on the guy on the right. And then here we have what I would guess is a Valkyrie. Odin the All-Father's Valkyrie. Yep, that's what it says. Worldforge has given us a preview as well. Apparently the month of June will be target practice. So an interesting way of, or hero training camp. So wolf and goblin cutouts. Naturally, let's target what we're going to shoot at, right, boys? Target 1, targets 2 and 3, a magic dummy that is inactive, and some weapons dummies, some spinning dummies. These are modular. You put them together how you want. We have some spinning blade traps and a few other things we'll look at come the month of June. Well, that is our preview of what's coming in June. We're still several days out, so this preview is a little bit on the early side, but I wanted to go in and get it out. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.